warning before you listen. This epic is not for children, nor for the faint of heart. We retell the ancient Greek myths as they were born, unfiltered, unsoftened. Scenes of violence, curses, betrayals, and a hunger for power that shows no mercy. Given the many conflicting versions of the Titan War, the events have been rebuilt to complete the missing pieces. Here, we tell the myth as it was meant to be told. Sources and references are listed in the episode description. Chapter 91. The Final Tide. The Fall of Perses. When the sea screams its last scream, and that alone is enough. This was not the only front burning. In the sky, lightning detonated and suns blazed. On land, shadows were flayed with fire, and mountains were ripped from their roots. But at sea, the sound was different, as if the entire planet was holding its breath, because when the sea grows quiet, all other wars grow silent too. Perses did not retreat. He had seen Thaumas fall, but he did not bend. Instead, he roared, a cry that summoned weapons untouched since the dawn of creation. He tore open depths known only to him and awakened the ocean's ancient arsenal, living shells, chains spun from lethal currents, and fish with no faces, but with thoughts older than fear. The remnants of his army gathered behind him. He raised his hand toward Poseidon and shouted, "If you are the sea, then I am your ancient curse." The tide changed. It became a storm crawling on its own skin. Even the ocean itself seemed to ache, as if a part of it no longer wished to fight, but had no choice. Poseidon remained silent, but he felt it. Something had provoked the very core of the deep. And then it appeared. The great black wave. A wave not seen, but felt. Rising from a depth beyond all depth, higher than the sun, descending upon life like an endless coffin, Perses attacked. He hurled his ancient forces toward the sea's heart, but Poseidon did not strike with weapons. He released what he once called the reverse flood, a surge that does not push forward, but pulls everything downward. It swallows, it rips, it curses existence to return to before it ever began. The sky suffocated, the horizon shrank, and every battalion under Perses was not drowned. They were erased from memory, and Perses himself was trapped in the middle. Torn from his strength, his spear broken, his eyes wide open, watching as the sea whispered to him, "You fought like a king, but the sea bows to no one but itself." The final blow did not strike his head, nor his heart. Poseidon struck the source, the tide itself, and with that, sound shattered, and Perses was undone, not dead, but hollowed, like a warrior who no longer remembers why the war began. His army collapsed. Those who remained were stripped of their weapons, their purpose, their very selves. The sea fell silent, and Poseidon spoke, not with the voice of a victor, but of a god who had cleansed the world of its filth. Now, let the depths be still, for those who dared defy the sea have earned the punishment of being forgotten. And so the naval front ended. No fugitives, no survivors, only silence, sealed with a curse. On the horizon, the war still raged in the sky and on land, but the sea? The sea had closed its chapter and left behind a blank page upon which only one word remains: victory. This chapter of the epic has come to an end, but remember, what you've just heard is not a record of facts, but the echo of a myth, a story born from the imagination of the ancients, etched into the long memory of humankind. If this tale stirred something in you, if it opened a door to reflection or wonder, don't forget to support the channel and share the journey with those you love. And in the comments, tell us, Which moment in this chapter struck you the most and why? We'll meet again in the next chapter of this audio odyssey through time. Until then, farewell.